Hey guys, me and Rio coming to you. We are in Anaconda, Montana. We're up here for our 2021 mission trip that we do up here every year. We come up and try to reach out to the motocross community. And we've been kind of cutting it short the last few years and just coming up for a month at a time. This year up here for a four-month stint, and we're running 2 race series, doing ministry at both of those series and announcing both of those series. And so we're up here. Rio, come here, bud. Nope, get away from that. Don't want you to knock that over. So we've been up here for about a month and a half or so now. It is May 22nd. In fact, it got warm enough today that we just melted off about 8 inches of snow today. We had the last 2 days, we've had a ton of snow. But anyway, been doing a little shed hunting while we're up here. So we're gonna try to bring that stuff to you guys. And I haven't been doing a lot of intros on my shed hunts as I started off the season hunting hard and not finding anything. And so all my intros, I just kind of nixed them. And so I quit doing intros, and then I kind of started stumbling into some sheds. And so we've got some shed footage coming to you. I think we're gonna have 3 or 4 episodes so far. We'll publish these on the Altermotives Creation Experience YouTube channel. But anyway, just wanted to bring you guys with, excuse me, got a sneeze here. It's been an interesting outing. So I came up for the first few weeks by myself, and then Mama come up. And so Mama's been up here for about 3 weeks now, maybe 4 weeks now. And our schedule has been just weird. With one of the races kind of got canceled, and so they moved it on top of the same. At the track we're at, we had 2 races here last weekend. One series raced here Saturday, and another series raced here Sunday. And Friday night, Mandy got sick, and so we had to take her to the emergency room, and they ended up doing an emergency surgery on her Saturday. And so she's still recovering. But it's been an interesting mission trip for me, and I can't really explain the trials of it all, but nonetheless, we're here and we're blessed to be here. It's just not going how we had it preconceived in our minds, but we're blessed to be here. It's a beautiful place, beautiful people, and of course I've got a friend of mine that's got a bunch of acreage not too far from here, and he's been letting me go out and shed hunt on him. We've been doing some shed hunting on public ground, some shed hunting on private ground. We've been finding a few sheds on public, finding more on private. And I know for some it's like not fair if you go on private ground and shed hunt. Well, I'm a cheater is what it boils down to, because I'm just a shed hunter. You know, I'm not a shed hunting snob that I have to hunt them here or there. I like to pick up sheds, and so that's kind of what we've been trying to do. That being said, this private ground is not just overrun with them. So, you know, there's quite a few out there, but it's not just overrun like you can go out on some of this public ground where there's big herds that stay there during the shed season, and there's hundreds of horns to be picked up. I've probably got 40 miles logged out here at this place, and I think I've picked up 11 sheds out there thus far. I picked up 10. Mandy's actually picked up 1. But we're putting these videos together. This is going to be the intro for our first video. This is public land, these couple of sheds that I'm fixing to pick up on here. And yeah, I just like to invite you guys to come along and, man, see what it's like out there a little bit. You can kind of get the feel of it, but your lungs aren't burning for lack of oxygen like mine have been. Legs on fire and all that stuff. So anyway, come on, let's go out here and stomp around up near Helena and see what we can find. Okay. Me and Rio on about, man, I don't know, day 6 of shed hunting intermittently. We haven't been able to shed hunt 6 days in a row, but we've shed hunted quite a bit. I've probably logged 35 miles. Give or take, I could probably do the math. I've kept most of my miles on Onyx and have absolutely goose-egged it. Weather's turned out nice today. It was spitting snow earlier, but it's nice now. As you can see, I'm in a t-shirt. And I don't know, we're probably a mile from the cabin. We've come basically straight up. And look over, and I found, looks like a hard white. And see if we can get it. Oh, my phone's acting 3 or 4 kinds of silly. What in the world is up with my phone here? Okay, there's the log. All right, there we go. Oh, look at that. It's been such a, man, such a hard deal to find a dang, any kind of shed. Elk shed, deer shed, moose shed, any shed. And that's the first shed I've seen this year in Montana. And, you know, it looks like just an old, right there, an old raghorn. And I am a happy camper to go pick up that old raghorn. Let's get Rio over there and see what he thinks about it. Hey, come on, Rio, I found a shed, bud. Let's go check it out. We got us a shed, buddy. Looks like a little 5-point. Yes, sir. Does look like a hard white. Last year, most likely. What do we got here, Rio? Come here. What do we got? What do we got? Hey, what is this? Rio, what'd you find? Oh, what'd you find, buddy? Get the shed. Get the shed, bud. A little bit chewed up. I'm a little anxious to get that home and compare with the bull that nah, it's just not old enough. I forgot we didn't come last year for the COVID. But I found a 5-point. Man, really close to that one. Like really close to that one. And if that one's 2 years old, then I guess it could be an actual match. I found it probably half a mile from here, maybe less. You're just gonna chew that thing up, aren't you, buddy? I don't blame you. Let's get my phone set up for the pickup. Let me get some ATLs. Oh, that makes me happy. Come on, bud. Over here, come over here. Let's go get our shed. Yes, sir. All right, watch out, bud. I gotta pick it up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely been there. Yeah, it's just the last year. Come here. It's just the last year shed. Let's get a little closer here. It's just the last year, but man, I'll tell you what, it incredibly rewarding, you know, and by a lot of people's standards, this is just a little raghorn, and I guess kind of beauty's in the eye of the beholder. It's all relative, however you want to look at it, however you want to say it, but I'm tickled with this decent little 5-point. So anyway, we're a mile or so from the cabin. We're gonna finish a loop out, get on back down. I caught some trout earlier. Mom was cooking those for supper tonight, and I'm actually going to meet with a bow guru tomorrow, get some insight on shooting, just some technique and stuff. He's pretty savvy. Kyle Kaufman is his name. And he lives in Helena, Montana, and we're staying in Clancy tonight at a friend's cabin. And so tomorrow evening I'm gonna go meet with him. I'll get a little bit more shed hunting tomorrow. But man, it's been an incredible mission trip that we've been on up here. It hasn't been mission in the sense of kind of how you'd feel like if you go to Africa and do a mission trip like that. Announcing races, doing trackside church, and then just fellowshipping with people during the weeks. And in fact, we just got back from visiting with the owners of Fly yesterday. We went to church with them the day before and spent the night at their extra house and got to know them a little bit. And they are legitimate, godly, radically saved Christian people, which it was a blessing to get to be around them. So anyway, in my downtime, trying to find some sheds. I'm gonna go try to find some more. Blessings. All right, there's Rio right through there. We're about a mile into this, and every step of this mile has been blow down central like this. This is absolutely kicking my rear. It's just up and down and over, and I don't know, it's kind of sketchy. Rio hears that squeaking, he's gonna kill it. Whatever it is, he's gonna kill it. And then I'm gonna try to tie rope across here to there. And I do a lot more of that than I probably should safely, but get on top of these, and like that one right there, I'm gonna try to run it out to that big one over there, and then off the end. Watch out, bud. Move. He is like he's an animal. Let's go, bud. Come on. Come on. Go. Gotta go, bud. He is constantly up and over and under and through. But it's, as far as the eye can see, it's just a sea of blowdown. And this has been the hardest mile I've ever covered in this kind of stuff, hiking. I mean, it's obviously worse if you're packing an elk on your shoulders. Move, go, I don't want this to break, fall on you. Wow, move, buddy, move, go. I'm fixing to fall, so I need you to get going. Okay, that thing's acting like it's wanting to break. With my 185, 190 on it. All right. Oh, I get to walk on the ground for 7 yards here. Oh, it feels so good to be on the ground for a minute, but you don't get much of it through here. You're up and over and under continually. Unshed huntable. I mean, you can hunt, but there's not a whole lot of elk moving through here anyway. Got to get up top and over to the back. We'll see what happens. Come on. It's not deep in it, buddy. Well, I'm about 3 miles in of the gnarliest hike I think I've ever done. I'm in a little open area now that's actually pretty chill. Just trying to burn out and get back to the cabin. I got to go meet with the guy this evening. And hunted hard to no avail. And I guess if you look over my, let's see if we can find it in the frame. Yeah, over my left shoulder there. It won't zoom, but it should be, that might be it right there. There's an old chalk elk horn that I just happened upon as Rio back there behind me chewing on an elk hoof that he found. But this thing is ancient. So let's turn her around. And there it is. 1, 2, 3. It looks like an ancient 5-point. So yeah, not the greatest find in the world, but I can tell you I've worked incredibly hard today, and it's only 3 miles, but it's, well, I'm still a mile or so from camp, so it'll end up being probably 4 and some change. But that's a gnarly one. I guess I'll go ahead and video the pickup just because. So let me get the camera set down. I got to take some ATLs and get the camera set down, and I'll video the pickup. Well, I was going to video the pickup, but Rio got to it, and he's having a ball with it, so I think we'll just call this the pickup. You know, not a bad little 5. It's you know, G1's chewed off quite a bit. G2 barely chewed. Pretty good chew marks there on the 3. And then up here the 4 and 5 are just annihilated. So break that off and give it to Rio here in a minute. Anyway, it's a lot of work for that little bugger, but man, I'll take it. It's all I found today. All right, well, as y'all seen, you know, we picked up a couple of sheds there. We found that one big 5-point, pretty decent 5, and I'm anxious to get back to Texas. That shed could be 2 years old, and if it is, I may have the brown match for it at home. So I'm looking forward to getting back to Texas and comparing that shed with the 5-point that I found a couple years ago. That particular shed was chewed up a little bit. I think it was just a year old, but that could have been a 2-year-old shed. Anxious to get home and find out. And then, of course, you know, coming off the side of that mountain, me and Rio stumbled onto that old chalky little 4 or 5 point, whatever it was. Worked really hard for those 2 horns, and that's just the way it is. Sometimes you work really, really hard and you don't find anything. That particular 2 days worth there, I ended up with those 2 sheds, and it's a lot of hard work. Doesn't pay when you don't find that many sheds. So there's a pretty good shed market this year. There's a little money to be made. You know, I don't know. It's hard work, and if you're not fortunate and you don't get into them, you bust. So we've been blessed. We've been fortunate. We've got into some sheds. We're going to make a little money on these deals, but that's just the reality of it. Sometimes you work your tail off, don't find nothing. Sometimes you just find a few, and then, man, other times you're driving down the road and just bump into sheds, and we'll show you some of that in probably the next episode. So anyway, man, thank you guys for checking it out, and I think there's a like and subscribe button on here. I'd like to grow this thing. You know, I've probably got like 4 or 5 subscribers now. Man, I'd like to raise it up to maybe a solid dozen. So hit the buttons that you're supposed to hit, like it, share it, do all that stuff, and it's the best way I can take you guys with me. So appreciate y'all coming along. Blessings, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.